going to start this video from the very beginning so you don't get confused. I'm going to go over here to the class thing. You can do this from Brightspace, no problem. And here's the tutorial. Now I haven't really finished this up entirely, but I will in a moment. But here is your zip to place in your web folder. I'm going to open that up, and I'm in Foxfire, so Foxfire works differently slightly, and then you're just going to place it inside your web folder. There is this is the video you're going to be working on. Come on. And what you're going to do is you're going to download it. And just right click on it, save video as, and save it. I'm going to replace mine because I've got one there already. So I've got those two things. I have a little QuickTime movie. There it is over there. I'm going to go into my Photoshop. This is where you bring it in slightly differently. You're going to bring it in as import video frames to layers. Now what's going to happen is we're going to come here to, where is it? There it is. I'm going to open it, and I'm actually going to look at this very carefully, and I don't want to bring in too much. So I'm going to go down here to there. I'm just going to bring in the blink. So there's his eyes open. That's all I'm going to bring into. I want to selected range only, limit to every 2 frames. I want this to be short. So I'm going to say OK. And if the gods of computers are kind, if I open up remember my timeline, see, this has only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I go here, there we go. Now, one of the things you need to be aware of, if you get really big with this, I just jammed my Photoshop up entirely. So I'm going to show you we're going to do a quick game with this one. We're going to go down here, and I'm going to use my crop tool to crop out just the eyes. Okay. So now when I play it, it goes like this. Oops, sorry about that. You also may want to be aware of how big this is. How you check that is go to image, image size, and this is 1000 by 800. I think this is a little big, so I'm going to reduce it to like 800. Okay. This again I'm doing just so that it moves fast, because at the moment it's not too bad, but it could get really big and difficult. Let me turn off some of these things. No, I'm not having a moment with that one. They're all my images. What I'm going to do with them right now is I am going to put them all into a folder, and you'll see why later. So I'm going to take these whole things, right, and I'm going to select them all, and then I'm going to hit the little folder, and I'm having problems getting this to show you. Bring it down to smaller, and there it goes away, because everything does that. Let's bring it up a little bit. Let me shut. There we go. Bring this up. Okay. So down here, I've selected them all. I hit the folder, and that puts them all into a group. And I'm going to call this blink. Okay, there we go. So I could turn this on, turn it off. There, the whole thing is in blink. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an effect on it. Now, what I'm going to do is down here, there's a whole series of effects like the brightness contrast that you can do to a whole section. And there it's given you with this little video, this little visual of the circle with a half through it. Okay, so I'm going to go to here and I'm going to add, what am I going to add? I'm going to change the color balance on it. And what's going to happen, can you see it's going to attach to there? I'm going to change him and make him really yellow. Okay. So now when we play him, got really yellow. Now the interesting thing about this is over the top of all of them. So because it's over the top of all of them, it's going to add to it. There are a bunch of these things you can do. I'm going to go, and they have masks just like anything else. So now if I add one, and I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to do posterize. And I'm going to do, oops, wrong one. Yes. So I'm going to add one more. I'm going to add a solid color of red. I'm then going to take that color, see it's sitting over the whole thing, and I'm going to change that to what feels like it. Different is always nice. There's difference. Okay, just showed you a bunch of these. Now what I can do with this is I can actually go into here and use my eraser to erase out. Come on, you're not seeing it because it's not big enough. Let's make it a little larger. I'm going to erase the whole eye area out, like so. Okay, so now when I play it, it should do this. Got some interesting things happening with the eye, but you can see you can really get a little crazy with this. All right, so this is the first one. Now, when you save it, you go to File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. Hopefully it's there for you, because what you're doing is you need to save this as a JPEG. If it is not a JPEG, it will not work. Okay? So there's the JPEG. It's giving me a size. It's telling me how big is it. That's fine. It's under a meg. I'm going to hit Save. And I'm going to put that into my movie animation images. And I'm going to call this one Eyes. Remember, no spaces. Okay. Now it's saved.